There is no magic solution to the problems in Ukraine, says EU Ambassador to Russia Vygaudas Usackas. He told reporters Thursday that last week's Geneva Accord is the only mutually agreed upon platform for solving the resolution. But he said it may not be working.
Unfortunately, in the eastern part of Ukraine, we have seen little, if at all, progress with respect to implementation of Geneva Accords, especially when it comes to the disarmament of illegally armed groups.
Mr. Usackas called on Russia to step up its efforts to ease the tension. In eastern Ukraine Thursday, fighting between Ukrainian security forces and pro-Russian activists killed at least 5 militants. Russian President Vladimir Putin called it a crime and threatened what he termed consequences. Mr. Usackas had this to say about what the Ukrainian government calls its anti-terrorist operations.
We respect the right of Ukrainian government to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity, but at the same time we call upon all parties concerned, including the Ukrainian government, to avoid provocative actions.
As Mr. Usackas urged peace, Russian military units positioned just over the Ukrainian border began military exercises in response to the Ukrainian government's operations. Mr. Usackas said more sanctions could be in the future for Russia.
The work is being done by the Commission in preparing a possible third stage of sanctions, which may involve economic nature.
He said sanctions could intensify if the recent Geneva agreements fall through. Those sanctions would likely involve more travel bans and asset freezes, not oil and gas embargoes.
Both parties are very realistic that for the foreseeable future we will remain mutually interdependent in terms of the energy cooperation. Russia needs cash, we need also Russian gas.
Meanwhile, Russia's Gazprom has issued its Ukrainian counterpart Naftogaz a bill of $11.4 billion for a purchase shortfall, the Interfax news agency reported. Ultimately, Mr. Usackas said that in the modern globalized world market, the EU must think carefully about what he called its ultimate purpose in dealing with Russia.
The Russian Federation is different from what we expected, what we wished, and we have to acknowledge that and to deal with realities.
For now, that reality is uncertain as diplomacy strives to keep the war of words from transferring to the battlefield. Michael Eckels for VOA News, Moscow.